Another visit to Powell River in British Columbia. My friend Steve sent me this photograph and some others I've done of Canada, this part of Canada. So we'll see how we go. I'm doing it in portrait form. I'll come round to the board and I'll just come out a little bit. Right, there we are. So I've done a rough sketch of it again. I enjoyed painting the other one, but I think I could have done better. But we'll see what it turns out like with this format. As usual, I'll do my own thing with the sky and surrounding and the landscape. But first of all, I'll wet it all over. This will enable the paper to expand uniformly, and I can reclip it and keep it nice and flat. If you just paint bits of it wet, it'll buckle, and it's very annoying. But it's a good paper for wetting wet. It's a bit slick, and it's not so good for dry brush. But anyway, enough of that, me making excuses. Let's go in with some nice warm yellow ochre, burnt sienna, raw sienna. I don't use yellow ochre in watercolour. It's far too opaque. It's okay, it's great in oil painting, but the raw sienna is a slightly weaker colour, but it's lovely and transparent. So let's put in a bit of cloud in there. Bit of ultramarine, bit of Payne's grey, bit of alizarin crimson. No, I don't want too much behind those trees. I want that nice and light, and get that bit darker on the top there. Just a little bit there, and then I'll get that in the sea. Now with the colours of the sky, there's this very pebbly beach with loads of rocks on it, so I think burnt sienna, burnt umber and a bit of ultramarine would do on the wall, on the blue side. That's warm up as we come further into the beach. There's some nice warmer colours in there. I should have perhaps dried that a bit there, but see if I can just take that out. That's my sea coming in there. Okay, right, it's now grown quite a bit. So let's take it up and get nice and flat. Oh, not like room with the easel. I've got the painting at about 60 degrees, 65 degrees. I'm varying the angles. I'm going to dry that off now a little bit. I reckon while that's a bit damp, we can just scrape out a little bit of few pebbles here, catching the light. I'm going to put a lot of dark stuff on this. But these are the rocks that are much smaller than the main rocks. But I'll put those in when I can. These are the light pebbles catching this light coming through here. Right, okay, we won't do too much of this. There, I'm going to go over that with the heavier rocks, but this is just a basis of them. Let's just lift out a little bit more of that there. Okay, that'll do. Right, now with my hake and some nice greeny sort of blue, I'm going to put in these are the distant now bring some of those over. I've got to put the background headland in, or the other side of the river. And now there's some sort of beach on the other side, and I can't really see what it is from the photograph, but let's just put in some land there. Bit of greenery, but bluish. And then we'll put in the the bank. Okay. Now I'll put in the background, which is very, very faint. Right, so far so good. Now we'll put in these trees. I'm listening to my radio at the same time here. But so that I don't get done for copyright infringement on YouTube, I've got earplugs in, one earplug. I like talk radio and current affairs, and keeps me involved with the day when I'm locked up away up in my garret here. So we'll put in some warmish sort of trees here, some colour of fir trees. Don't want the paint to be too wet, so let's put in one or two big ones coming down into the rocky shore here. Now those that know my work know that I don't do anything exact, it's all approximate, random, and I go for atmosphere and mystery. Put a bit of dark on there, on one side. Okay, that'll do. Same here. I'll put some lesser ones in there. These are all lovely telegraph poles, aren't they? There's lots of small ones in here as well. Used a hake to do these. in there. I'll add a bit of blue now, so these are going back. The Hake is a fabulous brush for doing this. Right, so blue and a bit of burnt sienna there. So we're just these are all lost in the foliage on these pines. So I want these darker than the ones behind. I want those to lay back. So the way you do that is to use slightly warmer colours, like a bit of burnt sienna, and then we'll have another one coming up here. Although that would be behind a frame if this ever sees the light of day. Now there's some more distant ones in behind there, just blue. Okay, that's sort of a basis. Let's go into, I'll just dry the bottom of those, and I'll go into this bit of landscape now, while that all dries. So a nice warm greeny colour, lemon yellow, burnt umber, Payne's grey. So let's just get that in there. We're adding more planes now. This head, a little tiny bit of rocky stuff sticking out in there. Now we're lighter, much lighter now, showing a bit more earthy, grassy. Leaving some white. And then putting some dark in there, just. So this is going to be a bit of rock coming up there. Right, card, plastic card, just re-clip that, get that nice and flat. Easy, isn't it, doing these rocks? So just a few bits and pieces in there. That's probably just a little bit light there, dark should I say. I'll justify that, I think. A bit of a bluey. Sorry if I'm masking you. Okay. Right, now we'll go into do a bit of the sea, I think. That's quite dry. Let's just try to reflect. I'm going to attempt a bit of dry brush here. But I just want a grey. A bit dark as it's coming to the near foreground. Okay, that hopefully would show some sort of sparkle on the water. Let's just get that over there. Right, okay, it's probably a little bit dark in there. Right, now with this large brush, it's got a nice point on it. I'm going to just do some sorry if I'm masking, I'll just put in some pine needles, some little branches on it. Right, that's a bit of dark stuff in there. Okay, that'll do for the moment. Now, I've got to do the same in the large trees, but I'm going to have to use a rigger just to show some little branchy things. Branchy things is a technical term used by us idiots. Right, that's got to get into the feel of these because some of these branches come down spiky. Oops, they're not that crooked, are they? They're quite. Lots of these little twigs and branches coming off. They don't amount to very much. They never seem to be very long. Right, I've got to do a lot more of this. These are quite difficult to get a feel of. I try to show an awful lot with as little effort as possible. And lots of branches tangled down here. Nice green, but dark, very dark green, with blue in there. This is my shorthand for doing a lot of painting. It's slick, I suppose, but if it works, if it comes off, it creates an impression. I want to leave plenty of light coming through, but coming down here, there is, in the photograph, although I'm not using the photograph as an exact, or to make a model of it, it's quite dark in here. This, with a lot of, I've got to do some harder edge stuff. To try to show some of those branches with lots of foliage, but I'm not doing leaves, I'm doing sort of spiky pine. That's all very little light in the base of this, but just a bit. I'm not going to do much more to that because it looks like I could easily ruin it. So I'll put in some of these rocks now. So burnt sienna, blue, grey, red. I'll try and mix a lot of rich colour in these rocks. So let's start with the big ones here, big round ones. Another one, nice one there. And there's loads of these, you know. But I'm going to etch with the card in these things. Nice and pretty red in this one, and blue. Right, now we've got to go with the card. So let's just, you can only really simplify the lights just catching the top of these. Right, let's go in there with a bit of shadow, more shadow in the rock, which underneath the rock will be a bit of a I'm trying to show in the water there, although the water's moving, you wouldn't see a great reflection on it. But let's just put in some dark, warm dark. So these are the dark sides of the rocks. That was a bit dry there, so it didn't really work. So let's get those. Let's just wet that a bit there, I think. Bit of more dark in there. The painting, the photograph itself is lovely. Good old Steve. Right, now let's put in some, I'll dry the brush. Now this is going to be pebbles. If I dry the hake, and I just put it in some paint, so some nice warm pebbles, some in there. Right, get some bigger pebbles there. Okay, that's about all I can do for that beach, I think. Let's put in that little boat. It's just a faint dark shade hull. Give it a mast. Sorry for my head's anyway. Right, dry. Right, now I reckon we could work in a figure. Figures, I'll take a choice. Reddish sort of coat that will stand out. Let's put in they're probably a bit small because make it much bigger. I'm only putting him in because it'll give a bit of scale. So we'll just put that there. Now either he's a very small man or they're huge pine trees, but anyway, he's in and he's standing there contemplating. Let's do a bit of a reflection here. I just want to take a bit of that. There's a bit of a puddle here. I can't see that there's any flotsam, and but let's just add a bit of my own detail here, a bit of warm. Just a little bit of license here just to connect up the dots. Signing it here. Right, okay. Let's put it in a mount and see what we have done. Oops. Hold on. Bit of masking tape. Just lift that up a little bit. Hold on. Right, just a little, let's just take some of that out there. Right, well, I've tried to show the separation between these three planes here by using blues. I think the rocks could have been a bit better on here, but anyway, I quite like it. Let's see if I can just take that. Hold on, I'm just going to take that down a bit. I'll tweak it up a bit. Right, okay. That's a bit better. Right, I'll zoom you in, and we'll have a look around, see what we've done. Right, these are my pines. This is the recession. My boat mast is a little bit thick, and here's my beach. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching in. Goodbye.